Okay, Shalom Akim, Kohalo Imla, Yahaba Shim Yasha Bashin Rakudash, and double on Instagram some apostles. Thoughty how thoughty Yasha for the strength in order to make this video as well. And this was does pertain to Moab, man. And you already see from the title of this video, it says China is now painting meat and why. So, I'm gonna play this for a bit and then bring out some precepts, so it'll be one of those short videos, but this is what's going on in the Moab side of the land, man. And Moab also imports certain things on this side too, man. So of course, when you go to Chinese restaurants, you never know what they may be doing, man. Obviously, you gotta pray to Yahweh Shemashah at the end of the day, but each bro to what they're gonna do, man. But I'm just bringing it out here. This is what's happening in the land of Moab.
If you go to the docks early in the morning in China, you can watch as the fishermen add coloring to their haul of fish. This woman is taking old manky meat and painting it red so it looks juicy and ready to sell again. And this man is spray painting a duck to make it look like a mallard. And this? Well, we'll get to this. By now, you're probably starting to wonder what this painting nonsense is all about and why China seems obsessed with unnaturally painting things to make them appear to be something they're not. Well, let's get those clips I showed you in the beginning out of the way first, because I have quite a lot more to show you. Firstly, the fish. These are very sought after fish in China. They're called tofu fish, and they're a very soft and mild white fish. The problem with these fish is that they're very hard to transport and expire very easily, as they have very soft translucent skin and don't have any scales. So you have to buy them fresh.
Yeah, that should already ring a bell for Yakim as well, man. Because obviously, as the scriptures say, is the fish that we eat, the fish that we're supposed to eat, has to have fins and scales, man, for it to be lawful. But as you've heard there, to be honest, like Moab is already known to be that nation where they pretty much are involved deeply with detestable meats, man. They don't think twice about eating pork or any other type of fish. They eat squid. I think there's this thing called calamari, which is still fried squid or something. That's the testability. What else? They got pork. They got mainly they got a lot of pork there. That's one thing I'll say for sure. Moab does not care, man. He's gonna take the little gritty stuff as well. That's the thing. But even in jet countries as well, man, you still got jet eating detestability too. I know Nigeria, a few years ago when I went there, they sell maggots, man. That's part of that detestable meat, so which Jake just don't care about. Which also gives us more of a reason why we still gotta get out of it anyways, because with Esau's wicked influence, of course Jake is gonna find it hard to stay disciplined with their diet. But the point is this on Moab. But this is Micah chapter 2 verse 10. Arise ye and depart, for this is not your rest, because it is polluted. It shall destroy ye, even with sore destruction. And destruction don't mean that just like externally or like with the environment, society and whatnot. It could be internally as well. It will be internally with the food that you're gonna eat. But the point in the video, guy mentioned about red coloring, man, on the meats to fake it. I remember when there was a video, I don't know if it was in UK or in America or some kind of place, country, about chicken meats that are being pumped with some kind of chemicals to make them look more plump at the fast food chicken shops, man. So I always got to pray over our food nevertheless, and also take a break from these things. Because you don't know what, it's always the accumulation. It's the accumulation of these things that then bring up the sickness from the foods that we eat.
The problem with these fish is that they're very hard to transport and expire very easily, as they have very soft translucent skin and don't have any scales. So you have to buy them fresh. So the way to check if a fish is fresh is to look at their gills, to see if the gills are still pink or red, a kind of pinkish red. If they've gone grey, then you know it's not fresh and you should avoid buying it. With tofu fish, you actually don't need to check the gills because of the translucent skin. If they're still pink, they're fresh. If they're grey, then give them a skip. And that's what these fishermen are doing here. They're adding red dye in order to deceive the markets into thinking they're fresher than they actually are. And that way they can cheat more money from the end consumer.
It's just an advert.
As far as the man spray painting the dye in order to deceive the markets into thinking they're fresher than they actually are. And that way they can cheat more money from the end consumer. As far as the man...
Moab is just learning, man. Moab's learning the ways of Esau's deception. The reason why I'm saying that, and I'm giggling a little bit, is because the fact that Esau specializes in GMOs, genetically modified. I don't know what the E stands for. In fact, let me actually search it out quickly. What does GMO stand for? Genetically modified organism. Okay, yeah, that makes sense. Esau's got genetically modified foods, man. He's in the labs creating fake meats, plants of which don't even have benefits anymore. Esau's a specialist in this deception, man. Moab is just learning compared to Esau. Moab's just doing the cheap stuff.
Spray painting the duck, same deal. It's trickery and chicanery. You see, a mallard will fetch a higher price than a duck at the wet market, and his cunning trick means that an unsuspecting customer will pay more for his painted duck than they would if he had not painted it. As for this, well, these are just grab hags fighting over eggplants that were on special. Nothing out of the ordinary here. Let's move on. It's that time of year where to use. Right now, extra % discount when you use back to painted meat.
But yeah, man. As I said, Moab is pretty much learning. I'm just gonna get another precept as well. Ezekiel chapter 4 verse 12. And thou shalt eat it. Wait, Salakia, just wait. From time to time shall I drink. I shall bake it with dung that cometh out of man in their sight. So I was just seeing if there's any other follow-up precept. Alright, let me read it. Ezekiel 4 verse 13. And Yahweh said, even thus shall the children of Israel eat their defiled bread among the Gentiles, whither I will drive them. Among these heathen nations, Jake's still going to be eating that defiled meat. Some of them, most of Jake, 2/3, they just don't really care anyways. They're just going to eat anything. Without actually doing the research on how it was produced anyways. So that's verse 12. I need to skip on to verse 15, which is why I gave a little laugh there. Ezekiel 4 verse 15. Then he said unto me, Lo, I have given thee cow's dung for man's dung, and thou shalt prepare thy bread therewith. It's basically saying, Moses is basically saying that he's giving a shit for Israel to eat, man. Because a man's dung, a cow's dung, is talking about poo. That's why I was laughing a little. Because it's like, damn, man. This is the bullshit that we're eating. Quite literally. Bullshit. Anyways, so first Peter 5 verse 8. Let me get that to you. Let me let this run and then I'll get it.
Wet markets are how the majority of households get their groceries. More like groceries, if you get my drift. Sorry, that was terrible. It may come as a surprise to you, but the majority of Chinese households do not keep refrigerated meat and vegetables. Buying fresh meat and vegetables each day and consuming them the same day is just the way things are done in China. Sounds healthy, right? Wrong. It would be healthy if it wasn't for the absolutely unsanitary wet markets and all the shortcuts and trickery involved. Here, we have a husband and wife butchery team at a wet market. Once again, dyeing the meat to make it look fresher than it really is. Chicken starting to look a little pale and off? Inject dye to emulate that fresh, bloody look. The unsuspecting public won't know the difference, and who cares if this gives them cancer? We'll make a few extra bucks.
Yeah, that's it, man. Moab just wants to make more profit. Well, as is Esau as well, man, and all these other heathens too. They don't want to care about the well-being of their bodies, man, of the people of their nation. They don't care at all. And that's the thing, though. They're really just striving for vanity at the end of the day, because we know that these economies, these financial systems are all gonna fall. These banking systems are gonna fall. So of course, either way, if you then strive for getting the money, it's gonna fall at the end of the day, man. That's what Moab has not learned. Which obviously, he's a heathen anyway, so of course, that wisdom isn't there. But you already seen it, man. Pumping chicken with all these chemicals. You got the dye painting as well of meat and fish. But yeah, man, I was gonna get a precept. So First Peter chapter 5 verse 8: Be sober, be vigilant, because your adversary the devil, as a roaring lion, walketh about seeking whom he may devour. Which obviously our main adversary is Esau, Edom. And you got Ishmael after that, and you got all these other nations as well following after. The point is, Esau, and that's the thing though. Esau, Edom, he's seeing these videos, but he's like, all right, just let Moab do what he's doing. Because at the end of the day, it still contributes to his wickedness anyways, man. Because these defiled meats are supposed to corrupt the bodies even more than they are, man. Again, that's why we're in vessels of I was gonna say corruptibility, but I'm not even sure if that's even a word. But we're in corruptible vessels right now. So of course, Esau wanting to corrupt the vessels even more, adding sicknesses and diseases, he's gonna allow Moab to do this type of thing.
Okay, seriously though, before we continue with this nonsense, do you see what's happening here? Chinese society is ruthless as a result of the bad governance of the CCP. The Chinese people suffer at the hands of these tricksters who themselves are Chinese people being tricked by others. Can you understand just how devastating this all is to the level of trust people have in one another in mainland China? China is a low trust society. And if you yourself come from a high trust society, you will be taken advantage of and easily fleeced, bamboozled, and exploited. But back to the questionable painting of edibles.
Yeah, so I'll just read it one more time. I'll get another precept as I'm letting the video run. So First Peter 5 verse 8 again: Be sober, be vigilant, because your adversary the devil, as a roaring lion, walketh about seeking whom he may devour. So we have to be quite watchful. We have to be very, very watchful of what we eat. It's one of those be careful of what you eat type of videos. Be very cautious. Yeah, let me run it now and then I'll see what's up.
Chou tofu, or stinky tofu, is an incredibly popular street food, and it gets its black color due to a lengthy fermentation process. But why waste time making the real thing when you can just use chemicals and paint to make them look like the real thing? The people you swindle won't know the difference after all. And again, since we're using trickery here, these chemicals haven't undergone any sort of health study or trial. But as we know, cancer is a slow killer, and they'll never be able to trace it back to us anyway, right?
用科技需要1个月吗？最多3分钟。这就是3分钟出来的效果。
Chemicals, paints, dyes, and trickery can be used to make all sorts of convincing foods that can be sold to the unsuspecting people in China.
Scariest night of the year, and you want to be home alone.
Spam, fake eggs.
Yep.
Yes, I'm not making this up.
See, look at what's going on here.
Trickery can be used to make all sorts of convincing foods that can be sold to the unsuspecting people in China. Spam, fake eggs. Yes, I'm not making this up. I mean, it doesn't seem like a logical thing to make an egg. Surely they're cheap enough just to raise a couple of chickens, but no.
Damn. Moab even found a way to make fake eggs. Wow. But, Akim, you're seeing it for yourselves, man. This is the nonsense that Moabites are eating. And the Jakes that are living there, the few of them that are living there, that's what they got to deal with, man. Clarkness.
Eggs are made on an industrial scale, especially
Look at that thing.
for applications where it's not easy to spot. Like, surely they're cheap enough just to raise a couple of chickens, but no. Eggs are made on an industrial scale, especially for applications where it's not easy to spot, like inside mooncakes, which are a must-have item during the Mid-Autumn Festival. The egg yolks inside of the mooncakes are very often faked, made with chemicals. And of course, whole eggs are made. I'm not making this up. But there's more. Things like meatballs, fake marbled meat, and don't throw out those rib bones we found in the trash.
But yeah, this is Matthew 10 verse 16. Behold, I send you forth as sheep in the midst of wolves. Be ye therefore wise as serpents and harmless as doves. The key part is about saying, Yanni Alshai said, be wise, be ye therefore wise as serpents and harmless as doves. So of course, being wise as serpents, you're cautious of everything, man. Have a bit of paranoia about you sometimes. But of course, we always got to be constantly watching, so tell you the world would see us as paranoid. Which, of course, when you live in a wicked world that surrounds you constantly, of course you got to be cautious and paranoid, man. With all this stuff going on, man, you got flipping reused ribs. What kind of nonsense?
Because we can use them to make fake ribs. Heck, even fruit isn't exempt. Remember, a more vibrant and colorful red apple will sell better than a dull one. Chemicals to the rescue, once again. And once we've had our fill of painted meat and cancer fruit, we can wash it all exempt. Remember, a more vibrant and colorful red apple will sell better than a dull one.
I just smiled.
Chemicals to the rescue, once again.
I mean, he's just doing.
And once we've had our
but still, though, it's all defiled meat, man. That's the point of this lesson.
A fill of painted meat and cancer fruit, we can wash it all down with a chemical mixture that looks and tastes exactly like beer. So, what is the point of me showing you all of this, really? Well, I'll tell you. It's difficult to understand why there is so much mistrust, trickery, and fraud within Chinese society.
At the end of the day, it's all the Most High's will. It's part of scripture. Jake got to eat that defiled meat. So, prophecy has to be fulfilled, man. The Most High said that his word will not return unto him void. So, let's see. This is Isaiah 2 verse 3, which is basically pertains to the fact that the heathens need Israel to lead them. This is what happens when Esau's on top, man, with wickedness spreading around. When the Israelites, when Yahushua is in his kingdom, and then the Israelites, 144,000 are in rulership, then all the other heathen nations will follow along. They'll be in order. Of course, they're not in a perfect state, but of course we'll be their guides. Ultimately, we'll tell them don't do this, don't do that. Of course, if they slip up, then they get their judgment, and that's how it's gonna be ongoing. So Isaiah 2 verse 3. And many people shall go and say, Come ye, and let us go up to the mountain of the Lord Yahweh, to the house of the Most High of Jacob, and he will teach us of his ways, and we will walk in his paths. For out of Zion shall go forth the law, and the word of Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushua, from Jerusalem. See, it says, for out of Zion shall go forth the law. So of course, as I explained before, man, Israel is where is going to be the guide for these heathen nations to follow, man. Everyone. Ishmael, Moab, Ammon, Cush, the other ones that I can't really recall right now, but all heathen nations, they're going to be following our laws, man. That's the way it will go. And all of this nonsense here won't be happening, man. All of this nonsense, painting meats and whatnot. Yeah, even flipping these heathen festivals, man, they're gonna go as well. Yeah, you had Halloween that passed recently. That's gonna be done away with. But yeah. But anyways, man, that's pretty much the point, Akim. Yara Tazar, Edify is just a quick video based on the defiled meat again. But yeah, Shalom, Kahalalim La Yahaba Shim Yahshua Bashir Khakudash, and double honors the great Muslim apostles once more. Amen.